how to unweld your exhaust. Something like that. Can't take this fucking thing out because the cross member's in the way, and there's no fucking way I'm gonna drop that. Oh, by the way, I also have new pipe, so that's why I cut it, so I can take that out. Here's the new setup right here. Got a new front pipe right there. Got a used cat and a used muffler for my friend for a lot cheaper than what they'd be used. He only used his for a month, and he didn't need it anymore, so he gave it to me. And a new tailpipe. This was a universal cat, so obviously it doesn't have this thing. So it's got an adapter on there. I'm wondering if maybe I can clamp that together or weld it or something. I don't know. Alright, so here's the two systems side by side. I have them lined up at where they would sit at the front. So if you notice that this cat is going to be forward a little bit from the other one, but the other one was welded. But the tailpipe on the new one's a little longer, so it still ends up a little longer at the back. Old flange gasket removed. New one installed. Oh boy, yay! Now for the downpipe. Oh. Hey, where'd all the sun go? So, that donut's on, that's attached. That's run over the cross member. I have that clamped. And hopefully that adapter's in there, although I'm not completely sure if it is or not. Nothing else is clamped, but I want to start it up real quick just to see what it sounds like and see if there's any exhaust leaks. Oh boy. EPA would love some exhaust leaks. Yeah, she's leaking plenty right there. That's a problem. That'll need like some putty or something. I knew that wasn't gonna hold right. Oh boy. And for this motherfucker, I gotta figure out some fancy shit to get that to hang. And it's interesting. It comes with that. And I got two bowl holes up there. So I'm gonna make a little rig to get this up to more standardized stuff. And I also got a thing to bridge the gap. Ugh. So my plan is, if I can borrow my friend's welder, I'll make me a little doodad here. Got me a bracket. And this is the old hanger from the old exhaust that I had to cut off in order to remove it. So I'm thinking to make something that looks kind of like that, where I'm going to weld this to the bracket, but I'll cut both of them so that there's room to slide up and down. So that'll get welded like that, and then I can slide that through there. I also want to add something for the back, because the back looks like it's going to be a little droopy. And since there was already something installed up there, I have this. I don't know why, but I do. But the other part, this is the other part that this is just a universal bracket. So I drilled out the bolt or whatever, and I'm going to use this 90-degree angle like that. I'll slide a bolt through it or something, and then this just holds onto the pipe with a clamp. So I have a clamp for that. So this thing should be properly supportified. And then I just gotta figure out how the fuck to keep it from leaking or just not give a fuck. Maybe I'll just not hook up the pipe at all. Zero emissions. Woo.
Like, it's cut now. I might have to ream it.
Yeah, it's got a rounded edge to it now.
Not as much as I can get it. Yeah, it's like 2 1/8. Might be alright.
Alright, I just went super hardcore bootleg. This pipe is cut and squished on. The edge got a little reamed when it was cut, but that actually made it perfect. It fit like just perfectly over that, so I didn't even have to really tighten this down. As for my hanger, I don't have access to a welder yet, so I had to go full bootleg. I used the sheared bolt that came out of the cross brace to hold it in, and zip tied the fuck out of that. So that's how that setup sits on there for now. I'm gonna cut the bracket and eventually weld that on there and go up at least one more hole just so that this thing sits level, because at the moment it's at a bit of an angle. So that could definitely go a little higher. As for the back, again, zip tied like a motherfucker. Got one from both ends to keep it level and hangered on there. So it's on there. Alright. Final test. Starting it up.
Exhaust fumes, oh boy!
A little bit there. A little bit there. A metric fuck ton there. Ugh. There's a lot of air that comes out of that thing. Alright, last ditch effort. I'm taking it to the inspection station today because I have a day off. So, $5, you get 2 packs of these little things of tailpipe putty. So I'm going to shove that shit up in there, and hopefully it stays long enough for me to pass inspection. Then after that, I'll maybe do something about it later. Don't that look tasty? You can see it start to set up a little bit over here on the pipe. It feels and smells kind of like, well, it smells more like paper mache. It's very, very creamy. It's a very soft, squishy putty. Putty body. And that's probably going to blow out, because I only got a couple more hours until that place closes. So I'm going to put me an exhaust hanger right over that, and hopefully that'll hold this shit in just enough so it doesn't sound like a blah 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 blah. So maybe, just maybe if I'm lucky, that'll get me through inspection. Alright, so this is what I failed for if you guys were ever curious. I had high hydrocarbon, which is the first reading. My reading at idle was 418, and the standard acceptable was 220, so I blew that way over. And CO percentage was 1.39, and the standard's 1.20, so it just barely went over that. And then if you look at high idle, they hold it at like, 1500, maybe probably 2000 RPMs or whatever. And I passed that, so hydrocarbons were way under, and CO was under. So hopefully the new catalytic converter that I got will pass. And if you look, everything else passed. Well, I passed. It's got to count for something. Good enough for me. Just enough to get by, but it worked. Yippee! Hope that fixes your problem.